Alright, so a recap on the last episode that the last video I just uploaded. I've got, I picked up that Turbo 400. The first one I picked up with the Buick Olds Pontiac bell housing turned out to be a TH375, not a Turbo 400, which all that is a different tail shaft and tail shaft housing. Everything else is Turbo 400, which is kind of cool, kind of interesting. But then after this last video, Turbo 400, I went and I picked up another Turbo 400, and that Turbo 400 I was pulling apart, and it's a 4x4 Turbo 400, but apparently they got stuck in the mud or snow or something, or was rocking it back and forth, reverse forward, whatever, and they broke the bolt in the center support, and then the center support twisted in the case and it wallowed out the hole. But you'll see that in the next video. I just need to give you kind of a background on that, and because I didn't really open that video, so just know that I've got the Turbo 400 in the fire turd, then I've got the Turbo 375, which is the BOP, and then I have the Turbo 400, which is in the last video I put out, and then I'll have one more which doesn't really fill you in. I'll just get into working on that one, and then this next episode you'll get that and another transmission I picked up, but you'll have to wait to see the video, and that actually I guess will be coming in this video. So anyways, you'll see it in a minute. But the guy that I picked up the last Turbo 400 from, I guess his father had passed away, so he was like going through his father's stuff and figuring out what he needed to get rid of, sell, whatever. Well, I picked up that transmission from him for, I believe it was like 50 bucks. So score again. So there, it turns out, talking to him, he is a long-range firearms instructor. So that's what he loves to do. And I thought, man, you know, now I don't talk about this stuff much because I don't want politics and things, but I like guns. I was a combat arms training and maintenance instructor in the Air Force Reserves for a few years, and I loved every minute of it, being a weapons instructor and an armorer and all that stuff. So yeah, I love it. You know, when I got out of the Navy back in like 2001, I worked for a firearms simulator company, and I was setting up and testing all the software and stuff on the systems. So I always kind of just had a love of firearms. So back when Obama became president, and it was, you know, I thought, okay, well, I don't have a gun. I'll get a 22 so I can plink and I can just work on my marksmanship skills and just, you know, I don't really need a gun. And then I bought a really expensive 22 rifle, and then found out I couldn't get 22 long rifle. So then I was like, well, what kind of ammo can I get? And I went and I looked at the shelves, and of course at the time I was up in the oil field in Williston, North Dakota, and there was no ammo in any common caliber on the shelves. And I thought, okay, I'm making good money, I'll just buy all the equipment and I'll start reloading, no problem. Ha! You couldn't even find the supplies to reload. So for years I kind of went into panic prepper mode, and I just bought anything that I could find available. Didn't even matter if I had a gun for it or not. I bought all kinds of reloading supplies and equipment and all kinds of stuff, so that I would have ammunition, because a gun is worthless without ammunition. But lately, in my own mental health issues that I've been working on for over a year now, I was like, you know, I'll bet you he reloads. So I'll bet you I could trade him reloading supplies, primers, powder, you know, bullets, for the other stuff that he had that I really wanted. And so I traded off my worries, fears, stress, anxiety in a mental and a physical state in the reloading supplies. I traded off almost all of my reloading supplies. Not the equipment, but the supplies. And he got rid of a bunch of stuff that was going to go to a place where it was going to get used, and you know, it was a good thing. So he got something that's not going to stress him out, that he's going to enjoy, and it's his career field. And then I got a bunch of stuff that I'm going to enjoy and I'm going to use in what I am doing. And the big thing that I wanted is actually right here in front of me, and this is, as you can tell, this is an auto rotisserie. So I'm getting ready to pull the subframe off of the front of the Camaro, get the back bumper off, fabricate my brackets so I can get this Camaro up on the auto rotisserie. That way I can get it fully cleaned up, get the body work done, I can get it painted, because I need to do that quickly here. So this is really stinking awesome. I got the 3 bars that connect the 2 ends together. I've got a bunch of pieces and everything so that I can get this all set up on an auto rotisserie. And of course I got 1 Camaro, 2 Camaros, 3 Camaros, and of course I got the fire turd up there on the hill. And then I actually have a chassis right there from another Firebird, 79 Firebird. So like that's 5 F-bodies. So the brackets will get used over and over and over again. So I'm cool there. So it came with even the door supports and stuff, and a Big Lots shopping cart apparently. So I got that. That was a really big score for me, because I've wanted an auto rotisserie for a while, a long while, but they're expensive and I haven't justified getting one. The other thing that I got from him was I got this is the Pierre foam mock-up stuff. So I don't know if you already know, but I have an LS1 mock-up block. So now here's 1 water pump, 2 water pumps, 3 water pumps. I think there's like long and short and probably reverse flow style maybe. Something, I don't know. So there's 3 water pumps. This is the tail shaft housing that goes on, I believe it's this 700R4 mock-up. I have the small block Chevy harmonic balancer mock-up. I have the small block Chevy, like a 350 mock-up with a intake manifold, and then right over there in front of the 700R4 I have a turbo 350 mock-up, all in Pierre foam mock-up. So the foam mock-up is, I mean, that stuff's expensive. There's probably over $2,000 in mock-up stuff right there. So I got a hold of that as well. And then this is the one I'm kind of excited about, because I've been looking for something to build into the mascot for the channel. I want an armchair that does burnouts and rips and just freaking goes. Like fun, obnoxious ripper. So I also got this Club Car golf cart in the deal. So that's the battery I took out of it. I put another battery in it, and then it actually, it's kind of a really so it's kind of really a pain in the butt, but it will start. It's got 4 flat tires. But it does move. It needs some work, apparently. Apparently it needs some work, obviously, right? But the clutch in it is jacked, and So the clutch in it is jacked, and it's got 4 flat tires. But you know, it's like 80s, 90s, whatever, club car, golf cart. So not a bad score. I mean, golf carts are expensive, and it's a gas-powered cart. So I mean, it's got the motor in there, but I'm thinking maybe motorcycle like the R6 motor that I've got, maybe rip that up with the R6 motor, and then that way I have something to take with me to the track and stuff when I go to events like LS Fest or, you know, whatever, whatnot. So golf cart, all the mock-up stuff, and an auto rotisserie. Got rid of my stress, my anxiety, all of that stuff for stuff I enjoy. I'm saying it's a good trade. And so we're gonna lead off into the video because I've already yapped way too long. So here we go. And then I also forgot that this neighbor down here across the street, the old RV out in this field, he took the engine and transmission out of that, and that is his chicken house now. But he has the 318 and 727 out of that laying on the ground, and he asked me to come pick it up and grab it. I don't know what the heck I'd use it for, but maybe I'll find something or somebody who needs it, and I can just pass that along to somebody. So anyhow, oh, the dang dogs. Okay. Alright, so I think that's going to negate the case. So I think that case is trash, because the hole for the center support is wiped out, wallowed out. As is the center support itself. See there? That thing is bad because that bolt snapped off. Now this had to have been one hell of a hot rod, I think. Because they do have a round back drum, they've got the Kevlar band, they got this, you know, red clutch band, and they've got pieces like ripped off of the edges of it, maybe, I don't know. Doesn't look like it's really scorched burn, but maybe a little bit. So yeah, that, and then the center support being turned in there, and then the big score here is this. So here's my planetary sun gear, right? And then if you look at my planetaries, they're straight cut. Now I don't know if they're supposed to have those 2 notches in every tooth, but every stinking tooth has them in exactly the same place, right? And then if I go to this planetary, the gear in there doesn't have any marks in it, and then all these little planetary gears have the same 2 notches in them as the other ones, but they all seem to be okay. This rear bearing on the tail shaft output, that's all trash to heck. They did something big, bad, gnarly. So I think this output shaft has had it. I don't know if that can be fixed or not. I don't know. I would assume not, but I could be wrong. But that's a 4x4 output. That bearing was all destroyed. And then here's the that back part of the shaft. Looks perfectly fine. So the shaft looks like it's savable, but then that drum there looks like it's toasty. So looks like I'll just have to replace just that drum and an output shaft. And then the case is bad and the center support's bad. But I have enough parts. I mean, hell, I think the straight cut gears make this whole transmission worth having it. Plus, all of the clutches are good. Like I got it, and it had 6 clutches in the direct pack. So this one had some high performance stuff in it. So I think, even though the case is junk, I think I've got a pretty good deal on that because I got it for $100. So I've got a whole new transmission full of clutches. I've got the forward drum, the direct drum that are all set up for the big power. I've got straight cut planetaries. All in all, I would say not a bad deal. Here's the 2 for the Turbo 350 that I cut down. So this thing was like way up here, and I had to cut like a ton of it off. Probably dang near like half of that got cut off. But my buddy has access to a brake lathe where he's at, and so through him I was able to go ahead and just chuck those up on an old brake lathe and get it cut. And I did get a Turbo 400 one cut, and so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut one more Turbo 400 one. But the pistons that were in this Turbo 400 I just took apart. They're steel pistons with the little wave spacer rings in them. So I may just reuse those. I don't know. Might just go to the aluminum. Either way, I think it'll work. So anyways, I'm out of here. I'll catch you on the next segment. All right, so I'm currently up in Denver. You can see downtown Denver over there barely through the haze. And I'm doing what I do best lately, which is I just picked up a 4L80E that has no overdrive. I got it for $50, so it was worth the drive. But I lifted that sucker up, carried it over, stuffed it in my van, and in doing so, I was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I picked it up from the dipstick tube side to carry it like an idiot because I'm new at the transmission game. And so my pants and me are just covered completely down the front side with transmission fluid. It's all over the place. The guy I bought it from was like, hey, I just washed some pants. I was going to give them to the Goodwill. What size are you? And he's like, I said, I'm like 36. And he was like, really? I got some pants that I think will work. And so, yeah, see, I am actually not wearing a different pair of pants, thank goodness. Because I am completely, even my shoes, see my boot is completely covered. So I just pulled in just down the street from the guy. There's a do-it-yourself car wash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hose off my boot, hose off my pants, and I'm going to go ahead and clean that up before. Is it working? I don't know if it's working. Here we go. We got a quarter machine. Yeah. For a second there, I thought it wasn't going to like me. Come on. Okay.
One more. Just in case. Them pants are pretty big. What? Come on. It doesn't like that one. Man, it doesn't like it. I don't want $5 a quarter. Craps. Okay, let's see. See if we can fix this. Let's see if we can. Looks like it's been through the wash a few times or something. Nope, it don't like that at all. What the heck? Okay. What the hell? Nope, it don't like that one at all. Okay, hopefully that's enough. Anyways, okay. Come on, give me that quarter. Okay. Wash, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. There we go. Right on. Pull up my pant leg a little bit, I guess. Oh, I can feel that now, dude. Got some on the camera. I got 1:40. Got it. $2 to clean my pants. No, it's pretty decent. And the lesson for today is don't pick up a transmission from the dipstick side, because the fluid, whatever's in there, is gonna come out from the dipstick tube. Okay. Now, let's see, I'll just hang them on the antenna to dry, right? We'll just put these right up through here. Right? Like a foot picked up a roach or something. There we go. And we'll just let those dry on the way home. Yeah, we'll just let those dry. Alright. So, I got like, I don't know, hour and a half or something to drive home, so I think they'll dry if they don't rip off the antenna first. Alright, onward we go.